I got my drink for night ready.
Hello.
Oh, hello. So, I see everybody is in the chat.
Yep.
And I see most of us are in the game. That is absolutely fine. Well, just to let you know.
Can I get my picture fixed? How do I fix my picture? I don't want to be...
No problem, my dear. The way you do that is at the bottom of the very bottom right corner where the chat window is, you will see it lists who you are playing as.
Yeah.
Yeah, so if you click that, there should be a drop-down menu.
It's just the one possibility.
Oh, that's because we haven't actually connected Bluebird to your account. My apologies. There we go. It took me a moment there. Let me just fix that real fast, and then you will be able to do... You will be able to inhabit the Bluebird of unhappiness. So, Bluebird.
I don't know what you're talking about. My life is full of joy.
These colorful characters appearing on the stream, are those characters that will be showing up in the game?
That's a very good question. All of this is official artwork from the actual books and everything. All of the stream overlay and everything has been taken from the PDFs.
Oh.
So, speaking of the stream overlay...
I'm only asking. I was just curious. You know, I'm curious, Nancy.
Yes. Well, we're all new here, and so, yes. Hi, feel free to poke me when I'm in the middle of a...
It feels like the first time. Betsy said it wasn't the first time, but I feel like it's the first time.
Yes, so, welcome one and all to our very first Vampire the Masquerade Chronicle. And I just need to adjust our background music a little bit. Much better. Now, of course, some of you may not be able to hear much of the music and everything because I unfortunately didn't have time to talk everybody through how Sirenscape works. We'll get to that in a future session, but in the recording, the music will be playing and everything. So, apologies if there's a little bit of an immersion thing. But for those of you who do have Sirenscape and everything, the sound is going to be playing through that. I'm currently streaming in the Dice and Dose Discord what the actual Twitch stream is seeing. And of course, we are live on twitch.tv/Deadliest Illustration, my channel, me, it's all about me. And hello, and welcome. Speaking of about me, hello, 5 months. I haven't run a game in 5 frickin' months, and I've forgotten how everything works, where all the buttons are, and since we're all playing a brand new game system, none of us have played V5 World of Darkness, Vampire the Masquerade. None of us have a clue what we're doing, and it's going to be a beautiful, beautiful mess. I'm excited. I'm terrified, but I'm also excited. So,
quick question, Davila.
Yes, ma'am.
I am in Sirenscape. Does it say I'm connected? Because I see it say Game Master Davila.
That is a fair point. Yeah, so the first chunk of this is going to be a little bit of bookkeeping as we get all this taken care of. Unfortunately, in the what I see on my end of things, it doesn't actually show me who's connected and who's not.
Oh, it says Jonas is there with me.
So you should have some music playing. There's no music playing at all. Maybe if I switch to a different scene.
Yes, now it is.
I see. It's because it was already playing something, but you'd jumped in later. Okay, so
I'm hearing like squeaky wheels and ambient noise.
Good. Yes. Okay. So, are there any questions? Are we having any tech issues? Can everyone open up their character sheet?
Yeah.
and you can have a look around. There don't seem to be any really big blank spaces where stuff looks like it should have been filled in. And there's like on the second side of the screen. So yeah, basically, because this is the first time that D has seen the sheet. The sheet is in split into two sections. You've got the front of the sheet. Sorry, bookkeeping. So when you open up your character sheet, you've got the different tabs like bio and info, and then the character sheet. You flip over to where it says character sheet, and then there's two buttons. There's one highlighted in red called front, and the other one that's called reverse. When you hit reverse, that shows you some of the extra information. You're not going to use the sheet as much as the front side, but that's just something that's going to be useful for you guys. The main stuff that's held on the back of your sheet are things like what your clan bane is, what your blood potency is. So whenever I ask you guys something along the lines of, let me just bring up an example sheet so I know what I'm talking about. So if you wanted to maybe do a blood surge, what's a blood surge? We'll get to that in a minute. You can tell me how many extra dice you get for doing that, and so on and so forth. So that's where that information is, but the majority of your information is going to be on the front of your character sheet. So, is everybody prepared for the absolute train wreck?
Yeah. You see a train wreck, I see an opportunity. Nobody misses anyone after a train wreck.
Oh my
until
gosh.
Days later.
Bluebird is going to be an interesting character. Okay, and also as a reminder to both the stream and players and everybody else, I currently have bought the one monitor, and I am juggling many plates. So if somebody is sending me, like, say, private messages, or if there's a comment on the Twitch chat is not being monitored by me at all. So if anyone has any questions, any comments, I will not be responding to anything live. Maybe after the fact in a future session, or so on and so forth. I think, unless I am mistaken, that is pretty much it. So, boom.
Ooh.
We are going to find ourselves in the city of Chicago. Now, why are we doing Chicago? Because it's the source. It's basically one of the best settings for World of Darkness in general. Chicago by Night is an amazing book. I absolutely freaking love it. And I just wanted to give you guys just a taste, just a tiny taste of some of the madness and the craziness that can happen in this particular location. So let me get us. I just realized my notes in Sirenscape are the same window. No wonder I can't change our scenes quickly. So I suppose first of all we should introduce our players. Going down the list, D, would you like to introduce yourself, who you are, and who you are playing today?
Hi, I'm Dottie Elms. I am playing today a character named Bluebird. She is a very talented artist. I'm not sure how much more you want me to tell.
I think what you can choose to give us your clan if you so desire.
Oh, everyone knows that. She's a Toreador.
I mean, it's not going to be much of a spoiler because we actually have them at the bottom of the overlay there, but yeah. Yeah, she is. I will actually bring her up on the bottom left corner for those who are curious. This is our Bluebird right here.
Yes.
Right there.
And I have been waiting quite a while to play this game. I'm looking very much forward to it.
Next on the list, Sephi, would you like to introduce yourself, good sir, and who you are inhabiting for this fine evening?
I'm known online as Seth Wolf, and this evening I am playing Grigory Syracuse. He's quite an old vampire, and he's never heard of this Gary Oldman.
I love it. Next up, we have Dungeon Master of many another game over on twitch.tv/journeysplays. Nicola, who you, what you do?
I do many things. But in this instance, I am playing Alice. Alice is a relatively new to the embrace Nosferatu.
And let me just bring Alice up for the viewers. I love her. This is going to be an interesting.
Ain't she so pretty?
She's adorable. And last but by absolutely no means least, Deanna, who you, what you do.
Rita.
Oh.
I'm just nervous. I'm sorry, everyone. Hello. Yes, well, Deanna, but I'm also known as Lux Online. So I am going to be playing Teddy, who is a Ravenos, and she was turned around in the 1920s, which is very much a spoiler, either from of Spanish descendants. Ooh la la, see. And so far, she's a fun little party gal, so I hope you enjoy her as much as I will. Sorry.
This is also Deanna's first time under my control, so very excited to finally get you into one of our games. So this is going to be a lot of fun, and we might as well just get straight into things. So, starting off with say again, D.
One thing before we start,
Yes.
I was trying to show Deanna how to do what I did just now to fix my character picture.
Yes.
She wasn't sure how. I was trying to direct her. If you go to the bottom right under your Roll20 chat, Deanna, you should see a little drop-down menu that has your name that says Lieutenant Troy. There you go.
Thank you.
There we go. Yeah.
Anyway, back to y'all.
Thank you. Okay, so we are going to begin by having the Dungeon Master get us to the right location and figure out where his notes are. And now the game begins actually properly. Chicago is a series of paradoxes and transitions, of ever-changing paradigms and whimsy. It is both beautiful and putrid, both corrupt and a pillar of truth, an unstoppable force for change, or holding on to the past with howling desperation. Chicago's inherent dichotomy is reflected in its people, its buildings, neighborhoods, and most definitely, its vampires. Everyone who knows Chicago knows division is part of its makeup. It has two of almost everything. Newspapers, pizza styles, baseball teams. Chicago is often referenced as the most segregated city in the world, and with good reason. Those borders, often disguised as viaducts, were intentionally put into place by systematic political machines with overtly racist and bigoted biases. Please, someone tell me you can hear that.
Yes, we can.
Yeah.
Of course. Ha! While many of these machines were dismantled by the unending waves of time, the scars remained blah 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 Chicago. So, let's start with, I'm just going to skip that right there. I'll post it in Twitter later. So, let's just tell our vampire story, shall we? We're going to start over with Alice and Milton over in the northern area of a place known as Lincoln Park. According to their website, Lincoln Park lists a few interesting features. It's a picturesque neighbourhood, the nature lover's dream, filled with manicured gardens, lily ponds, botanical gardens, and tons of beautiful lakefront property with beautiful views of both the city and the Great Lake itself. It also happens to be home to one of the country's oldest free zoos, and has this beautiful walk over the Christmas period filled with lights and colour. Fortunately, it's open fairly late into the evening, so both Alice and Milton are able to walk through here most nights, enjoying the view. First of all, would you like to describe Alice a little more clearly, Nicola, and what do the people see as Alice is walking in this public space at night?
Well, let me just quickly get her banner up again, because I forgot what to do. Anyway, she's wearing a relatively long black dress covering most of her body except for a slit up one side, showing off her legs and her big ass boots. More suited for walking style. She's covered in tattoos with numerous piercings, but at the moment, against the cold winter air and the public setting, she's got a little cap and a scarf on to hide her nature.
So she's not using any kind of obfuscation or anything, she's just bundled up.
He's still getting used to it.
Fair enough. Milton, your sire, is dressed in a similar fashion. Basically, he looks like something out of Peanuts. You know, like a really thick woolly hat. The scarf is basically covering the majority of his face. He's also wearing, you know, those like ski glasses, you know, like the shades, very reflective. So there's barely any skin showing. But that is what our fine young man looks like under his outfit. The two of you are on your way to a very particular location. Basically, you are celebrating your 1 month anniversary. I'll say this, guys, as well. I am having a bit of a time, I won't lie, with that sound.
What is that, your neighbour running a machine?
Yeah, it's because the weather's gotten nice, and I'm trying to describe this really cold, snow-filled area with people are doing their lawn. It's the people outside the apartment building, they're using power tools.
Dennis,
I don't know what you're talking about. All I hear is a snowblower.
Yeah, I was going to say that. It sounds like
It's a snowblower. Yes. Some dude down the street. You. There you go. You and Milton are trying to have a conversation, and there's a very large snowblower going off. But yeah, you guys are heading towards the basically the best way to describe it would be the scene of the crime, if that makes sense. 1 month after your somewhat emergency embrace. Is there anything that you'd be chatting with Milton about on the way?
Probably discussing what we're intending to do after this until we come to the area.
Well, you do know that you need to meet back up with Bluebird afterwards. Which we'll get into that. You said that you needed to see Bluebird about something. Apparently she needs your help tonight. She's setting up some kind of event, and she needed all hands on deck.
I recall her mentioning that, yes.
Yeah.
Yes, this is the voice I'm using.
I love it. And this is the voice I'm sticking with, guys. Suck it up. I trust you and everything. I know. I don't want to be like a helicopter parent or anything, but you know, it's been a month and everything, and I think, you know, you've got the basics down all right. You know, not to get seen, you know, not to kill anyone, obviously, and you know, not to, you know, say your name or anything to any strange vamps, because and don't use that word. We don't use that word. We prefer kindred. But just try not to get noticed. And what is that person doing? That snowblower? Ooh. It's very noisy.
I don't know, but he's... Yeah. Oh, don't you worry. You've already gone over these rules with me, Daddy.
Please don't call me that. It's a little
Oh,
awkward.
but you blush so adorably, Milton.
He really
I can't help
does. He really does. You can tell even through the you know, the heavy scarf and everything. What grey skin you can usually see is tinging to bright pink. Just like flips the hood over even further, you know, burying himself into like this tiny. It basically looks like Kenny at this point from South Park. It's just like, you know, hands in pockets, like he likes it. So
That's why she does it.
I know, so cute. So quite you. So eventually you find yourselves heading past the out of the park and onto the streets properly. You end up heading basically the park is, I'd say, about like a 4 minutes walk from where you actually had your first encounter with the world of darkness. Would you like to explain, as you come up to this site, what actually happened that night?
Well, Milton and Alice have been friends online for quite some time. And since she moved to the city, Milton has been her only friend, and she decided to surprise him with tickets to a show that they both really wanted to go to. But poor little Milton, so nervous and not knowing what to do, ghosted Alice. She got concerned / annoyed, decided to head over to confront him. Discovered, unfortunately, his condition and ran away in fear. She was then lured by a group of seemingly concerned-looking women to, you know, girls should stick together to stay safe. She didn't realize that these women were ghouls and had led her into a trap. She was attacked and drained by a vampire. When Milton, trying to chase her down, discovered this, chased away the group and found his dear friend bleeding out on the pavement, and decided to save her.
And the past month, Milton has basically kept Alice under his wing. One of the things that he has impressed upon you, because he's been very concerned about the fact, is that people are, by and large, are not allowed to sire fresh, basically children like yourself, without previous consent from an individual who's been referred to as the Prince of Chicago. Milton is he's one of those people who's kind of on the outskirts of the main vampiric society, and so he's been, for the most part, keeping you underground, quite literally, as you've spent this past month exploring a whole series of tunnels and warrens that snake all around Chicago's underground. It's been fascinating, it's been pretty cool, but it's been a little bit stifling. You've met some interesting people, or for the most part all Nosferatu, until eventually, about a week or so into your embrace, Milton connected you up with someone on the surface. a woman by the name of Bluebird, who has provided you employment in return for, some nebulous favour that Milton now owes them. So, one of the things that you both used to bond with was your love for a very particular streamer, a techno-pagan streamer by the name of Brujah. And tonight is a very interesting experience, because at the very place where you almost died, well, technically you did die, at that exact location, just realised we need to bring our two vampires up so everyone can see them. Oop. There they are. At the moment, as you guys are heading up towards the alley, you can see a small group of people. They're all still fairly bundled up because of the March snow. You see, in spite of the the heavy layers, they are. You can tell your people when you see them. Not kindred, but fans of Brujah's. The black trench coats, the stripy arm socks, the whole 9 yards. And
Goths and witches.
yeah, the cool kids. And in the middle of her performance, which unfortunately you did miss a little bit of it, with somebody off to the side recording with a webcam, you see Brujah herself. Brujah herself. And she's in the middle of this Latina woman, I cannot do a Latino accent, so please forgive me, is currently going through the history of the site where you died. This is apparently...
Could you not?
Say again? Say again, Deanna?
Oh, Peter.
Diana.
Latina was expressing outrage at your...
Okay. If you want me to try Latina, okay, sure. That's why not?
Why didn't you ask me for help? I would have helped you.
I know you would have. I'm so sorry. Yeah. Next time. But basically, she's going through the history of this exact alley. Apparently, this is the site of an event known as the St. Valentine's Day Massacre. And 1 month previously, oh yeah, we're in February at the moment, the date where this is taking place is the 14th of February, the anniversary when the infamous Al Capone ordered a hit on a rival mobster by the name of Bugs Moran. And she's going through this litany, this service about trying to cleanse the spirits. She feels the spirits, the restless dead, all around you, and every single one of the people in this circle around her has a candle. Do you guys approach?
Alice will approach, but take her cue from Milton, so when he stops, she'll stop.
Okay. Milton is, because you guys haven't really mastered the obfuscation thing just yet, they're gonna just stay fairly bundled up. They're gonna, stay towards the back of the group, and they're going to not grab a candle, but they are going to, just observe. After going through the litany of the history and everything, Brujah says, "Tonight we remember the fallen who ended their trail of blood across the city with the shedding of their own. May we who are gathered help to silence their cries in the dark and cleanse this place of its spiritual turmoil. and they all begin to chant in Latin. Now, I do have a question for you, and I will say this: halfway through the chant, you will see someone at the other end of the street start to mess around with a leaf blower. Oddly enough. But my question to you, Alice, is this: does Alice have any ability in regards to sensing the unseen in your disciplines?
Is that insight or occult?
An occult would do, but does she specifically have an ability in her character sheet that allows her to see things that are really there?
Unseen has. No, I think that's an ability I have. Not that I can see things. No.
No, that's unfortunate. I would just, well, no. What you don't know won't hurt you, probably. I would say this, since your embrace, you've noticed that the cold doesn't normally bother you that much, but you do feel there's a bit of a chill. A lot colder than normal, but hey, you know, it's winter, it's cold. Makes sense. After a little while...
Well, I am a southern girl. This place is too cold.
Oh yeah, since you moved up north, the weather there's been a lot of tonal whiplash from the weather and everything. It has been quite an adjustment period to get used to everything. However, after a little while, the chanting rises into a crescendo, and everyone blows out the candles, leaving everything in dark for a moment. Eventually, Brujah looks to each one of you, nods in respect, and then the very serious, dark, gothy exterior sort of drops a bit, and she's like, "Okay, guys, thank you so much for coming. That was absolutely fantastic. I really enjoyed this. I hope you all had fun. Thank you so much. We do have the t-shirts and the mugs and everything. My boyfriend over there he has the van. Just feel free to have a look around." I would say as she's talking, you see this very, very bored-looking gentleman in a leather jacket. So like short cropped hair. Just like roll his eyes, and he's basically just opens the back of their van. There's a bunch of merchandise that's in there, and Brujah just starts going around the group making notes. One extra bit of information, Alice. You are aware of the name of this individual, the boyfriend. His name is Duke, and according to Milton, Duke is not just the boyfriend of Brujah, but he is also the person who helped punish those responsible for your act, for almost leaving you to die. You see, the thing is, they work for him. They're like, they're part of his gang, and they were sort of doing things off the books, and so as a result, anything they do is reflected on him. So in order to make sure that nobody loses any limbs or anything, me and him made a deal.
What deal's that, darling?
He gestures over to Brujah as the rest of the group has begun to disperse. Brujah comes over to you. Hello. So, are you Alice? Is that correct?
Fangirl squeak. Oh, yes. Yeah, it's lovely to meet you.
Oh, hello. My name's Isabella, but yeah, you know me as Brujah, the Queen of the Darkness. I hear you are a bit of a fan.
Oh, of course.
No.
I'm one of your key contributors on Twitch, but then again, you have tons of those, so it's... I'll stop talking now.
No, please, what's your handle?
Fuck, I forgot to
Yeah, this is where I put you on the spot now. Whatever you choose, it's going to be canon.
God damn it. Fine, we'll just go with the spiked ferret there.
You're Spiky! Oh, it's so nice to finally meet you! Oh, you're so darling! And and by the way, actually seeing her in person, this really leggy, beautiful Latina woman, she just picks you up and just like gives you the biggest hug. Oh, it's... And she looks around. So, Duke tells me that you are both in, the family kind of thing,
Glances to Milton to make sure it's okay.
Milton looks around and just sort of like nods.
Yes. What can I say? Fresh blood and all that.
Yes, Duke was telling me that, some of the girls got a little bit, misbehavior. I know they're not a fan of them myself, but Duke says they're okay, so it's like they must be fine. But I apologize on their behalf, and just wanted to let you know that there is no bad blood between us, and we are really, really sorry for anything that just happened.
Oh, well, of course not. My dear friend Milton here has told me that they have already received some consequences.
No. I think the arm will go back in about a few days or so. It was memorable. But no, Duke said they deserve to be punished. So Duke knows what he's talking about. I would say at this point you hear a really exasperated sigh coming from the truck. I mean, how long is this gonna be, man? Come on, we're burning moonlight here. Sorry. Okay. Was there anything? And just as she's about to, as he's talking, you see that she's constantly looking over her shoulder at him, like she's waiting for confirmation on something. And Milton pipes up at this point. I'm sorry, we were having a conversation here. Excuse me. Take your time. We have all the time in the world. Wits and awareness, please, if you'd be so kind. And this is the first roll of the game. What I mean by wits and awareness, on your character sheet, you basically roll 2 sets of skills. So roll your hit wits first, and then awareness, or it might be the other way around. Basically, you need to roll 2 skills, and those dice together are going to make a pool that I would say the difficulty is going to be 2.
So I've clicked on wits, and it's brought me up a window now for a second attribute.
Yes, it should be awareness.
There's no awareness in here. There's wits, resolve, intelligence, composure, manipulation.
Okay, wit. I see. They flipped it around. In that case, on your character sheet, then, if I apologise for that. Again, we're all learning the system. If you could do awareness, then wits. So awareness
I do not see an awareness. Is that under attributes or skills?
It should be under skills.
It's not an alphabetical order. It's the far right.
I see it.
Yeah.
Wits. There we are.
New system, what dis?
Extra dice. Do I roll extra dice?
You do not roll extra dice in this instance. But your difficulty is 2.
We are learning.
Yes. 1 success. That's okay. You really, I would say, I know I mentioned it was a difficulty of 2, but I'll just say, you do notice that she seems to be, looking at him with a little, not so much apprehension, but am I allowed to say this? Am I allowed to do this? When she was in front of the audience and going through the Brujah character and everything, she seemed like the person you knew online. But while talking to you, she seemed like this very friendly, animated person. While looking over her shoulder, there just seems to be a bit of a vibe.
Does it remind Alice of the way she was kind of acting around Milton in her first few days. You're like constantly like waiting for his like approval to do anything.
Is that a... that's the question. No, in regards to, because I think you picked up on what the deal is there, but no, Alice wouldn't have really been hanging on his every word. For the most part, you have been your own person. There hasn't really been a point where you have felt compelled to do whatever Milton tells you to do.
No, not that I mean, like, I was like, am I allowed to go to this area for vampire reasons, or am I allowed to do that? Like, pushing out the rules and things like that.
Possibly? You're not sure. Well, is there anything else I can do for you? Unfortunately, Duke is very busy, and I need to get going. But
do you mind? I just ask for one. Do you mind if I just get your autograph real quick?
Oh,
just a cold little notebook.
Absolutely. And she's just like really excited, just like signs her name in there. It's like, oh yeah, we'll probably get this up on YouTube in the next day or so. In the meantime, I'm probably going to be streaming, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and as she goes through the regular schedule and all that. I would love to have you, back in like one of the admins and everything. If there's anything I can do for you, just let me know.
Oh, I'll let you know, and I apologize for not getting that screen card done. As you can see, I was a little distracted. I'll get that for you before the end of the week.
Oh, this is no problem. Anything. I can't wait. It's really good to finally meet you. And gives you another big hug, and goes bounding off to the surly-looking dude by the truck. Rolls his eyes again. It's like, finally. Basically... very proprietarily, if that's a word, spanks her on the ass, opens the door, tells her to get in, and then they head off.
Oh my God, Milton! I had no idea you had so many connections.
Yeah. It was. It took a little bit of work, but well, I'm glad you liked it. I'm glad we were able to get that taken care of.
Yeah, well. I'm sure you enjoyed it too, my friend. It was one of the reasons I tried to get those tickets.
Oh yeah, no, seriously, it was nice to finally, get to watch him live and everything. I mean, I've seen him once or twice before, living in the city. It's just, I'm just not a fan of that Duke. Is, the way he treats her,
Yeah, I can see that.
Yeah.
But was she acting a little bit weird? That was a little bit more than boyfriend and girlfriend kind of thing.
Oh, I didn't explain. Oh, I am. She's his property.
As in.
Well, not like a kink thing. I mean, it depends. No. She was his ghoul. Okay.
Oh, that makes a little bit more sense, yeah.
Yeah, so it's one of the reasons I didn't let you drink from me that much, because, it's like you drink too much from one of us, and then it's almost like wearing your head, and you kind of wouldn't get a say in whether or not you get to do anything, because if I want you to do something, you don't get any free will in the matter, and that's not really how I do things. Some of this, though.
But don't tell me you weren't tempted, Daddy.
Please don't call me Daddy. Please don't call me Daddy in public.
Anyway, so then, I'm just gonna take his arm and hook it in mine. Shall we? We do have places to be.
Absolutely. And the two of you head off into the night. So, our next scene is going to be in the lower part of Chicago, and we are going to introduce ourselves to a very different kind of vampire. The Four Seasons Hotel is a large 44-story concrete tower in Chicago's Golden Coast. It is, let's see, built seemingly with a sort of like 1970s minimalist aesthetic in mind. It claims to have some of the best condos in Chicago. The building claims over 240 units consisting mostly of one-bedroom floor plans, though some people have combined units to create 2 or 3 bedroom condos. It is a home for several overseas investors from places all over the world, including the Middle East and Europe. At least that's what it says on the paperwork. In truth, some of these visitors from the Middle East are being rented out by monsters from the Middle East. And it's one of these monsters that Grigori is here to see. So, as we change the scene, Grigori, you've left your haven and you have pulled up outside the luxury condos to pick up one of your travelling companions for the evening. Would you like to describe the car that you are being driven in and who is driving you?
I'm not entirely sure.
Oh, okay. Well, basically, I'm saying, what kind of car would you like? Would you think that the twins would have for you?
I would say it's basically drag. Basically, if you've seen the movie Elvira, Mistress of the Dark, it's basically Elvira's car.
Okay. I like that. And how would you describe the twins? Your 2 personal ghouls?
I would say they're late 20s, blue hair, blue eyes, blonde hair. They carry themselves quite formally, but there's no. We tend to just wear regular clothing.
Okay. And what are their names?
I've actually forgotten that.
Should be on the character sheet there.
Okay,
Booby and Tits McGee.
Hey, that's going to be canon now.
Well, that's his private nickname for them.
No, I can't actually. Catch sheet 1 second.
Bonus points if they're male.
They are both male.
Eugene and Edwin.
There we go. Edwin and what, sorry?
Eugene.
Eugene. Okay. So, as they're waiting for your guest, it's a fairly nice night. The snow's kind of thawing a little bit. You're currently outside the ambassador's private residence. She has one of the condos in this building. Originally, she was going to offer you a location here, but you have your own private residence further up north from your last visit to the city. Eventually, your guest arrives. She is a young African-American looking girl, someone who is clearly far younger than you, because not just of their generation, but also of their, the era they were born. This is Icharana. She is a French national, and she is the personal guide for the ambassador Al-Kahida, who is the local head for your clan, the Banu Hakim. She hops into the side seat and gives a big toothy grin to you and the twins. Bonjour, monsieur. So, where are we going to? Oh, yes. No, I'm the one who's supposed to be telling you. But no, how are you? How is your night tonight?
J'ai l'impression que Neguni est mort à l'intérieur il y a 10 jours.
Oh, no, monsieur. No, we're in America now. You know what it's like. They don't like anything that isn't. Oh, yeah, it's cell phone, freeway. That
is true. Pardon. My mouth feels like a frog died inside it a decade ago.
Well, we have a meeting to get to first, but after that, if you want, I'm sure we can try and find, something to eat. I know a few of my customers, I know you're more into the consent and all that. I'm more of I like it when very little sleepy, and trust me, marijuana, the stuff I sell, it can knock them right out.
Well, we'll consider.
No, well, the offer is always there. Anyway, shall we head on? And she leans forward and she hands a piece of paper to one of the twins. They give a little nod. We made them type it into this little machine that you have on the dashboard, and you can see over their shoulder a little electronic map of the area lights up, and they begin to head down. As you're heading down, Aika, she basically is just waffling on about the local area. Have you been there, Dusable Bridge? You should be fine, but most people, they kind of want to be careful going there. The Magavians, it's their location, and plus, Baby Chorus, it's like, the local sheriff. It's kind of like his personal band, and they own like that area. So if you're going to go for a snack there, you definitely want permission. In fact, you probably want permission from anywhere in the city. Where we're going out of city limits, so we should be fine.
That is good. That is good.
Yeah. So, and she's basically going to go over like a whole list of locations as you are heading down the map. Basically, going through a few of the different locations in Chicago. We've got this university on the right. They're great customers of mine, by the way. After this, we're going to go over into Toreador territory. Your friend Bluebird, she's over here. We're going to come back and see her later, I believe, or at least you are.
Excellent.
Yeah. But just so you know, everything from down here to Dunkin' Donuts on the 16th, that's owned by Toreador. After that, it's Tremere. You don't want to, mess with Tremere and their shit, the spooky, wizardy stuff. The park over towards the coast on our left, that's all Gangle stuff, so no going there without an escort. Gangle are a little bit twitchy at the best of times. But yeah, after here, eventually you head past this large building where it says Mercy Hospital. Now we're kind of out of the big clan hoardings, and it's pretty much every lick for themselves. We're going to meet up with a few people in a little bit, but on the way there, did you have any questions? Anything you're looking forward to?
There's one very important question that I have that crossed my mind.
Oui, monsieur?
What happened to Jennifer and Marty's kids?
Who is that?
Marty McFly,
Oh, isn't that like an old movie or something?
Well, it was new when I watched it.
I mean, that is fair, but oh right, yes, yeah, you keep tending to do the big sleep every now and then. Yes, of course. Let me just find out. And she I would say this, she goes to like reach into a pocket, sort of like freezes and looks around a minute. It's like, would you I got a question to ask. If I were to, you're aware of the whole cell phone thing, right?
Those massive things powered by batteries the size of bricks?
Yeah, well, okay, you probably haven't been brought up to speed. Well, they made them a lot more, smaller now, a lot more mobile and everything, which is nice, but, recently, they've kind of become outlawed. The Caramilla, they really don't like any kind of modern technology, and so it's been a bit difficult to, use certain devices because they're worried that the humans are listening in to everything we do and everything. The long and the short of it is, would you be telling anyone that I had one of these if I were to look up what happened to whose kids were they?
Jennifer and Marty McFly.
Okay.
Back to the Future.
Back to the Future. Okay. Would you tell anyone if I were to look that up for you?
No, I mean our byword is Baku Banu Hakimi's secrecy, no?
Oui, monsieur, it is. And so she pulls out this, black glass oblong. Basically, it's an iPhone, and it is fascinating just looking at how the technology of the era has changed. Instead of like this large brick with buttons that they have a satisfying click as you push them in and everything, it's like magic. She's just sliding her finger over the glass, and all these images and all this information is coming up. And basically, she says, she gives you the basic gist, and for the rest of the car ride, unless you stop her, she's going to be reading through the IMDb entry for the Back to the Future series.
Some people make their own hell.
Guri just kind of nods enthusiastically. Well, I have to say, the flying train is a little bit far-fetched.
I can actually look that up if you want, and she's actually going to, do a little more typing, and she will actually show you one or two clips from the movie yeah.
That is incredible. I remember those things.
Are you more of a train person?
I tended to enjoy them during my time. I spent a little time in the 1860s, sort of going up and down the country, so to speak.
Oh, that I can barely even imagine. I mean, I was turned 2 years ago, so
Let's just say that General Grant was rather grateful for my contribution.
Who?
Ulysses S. Grant, I believe he became president.
I am French. I have no idea.
Oh yeah, the Civil War, the American Civil War.
Oh, I heard about that one. Oh, okay. Eventually, the car pulls into a slightly more rundown area as you get further and further out of the city. And you get further south. You see the transition from skyscrapers and so on into more side streets, like smaller like industrial neighborhoods, homes that have been built around warehouses and trader districts, all that kind of thing. And you also see more and more gang signs, graffiti, local chain link fences, that kind of thing.
Is it not much changes in 40 years? Does Forest still keep the working class downtrodden?
I mean, some things are eternal as far as I'm aware. I mean, again, I'm only new, but this is how it's always been.
You'd think they would learn after a couple of centuries, wouldn't you?
Some things are ingrained in human nature, I suppose. But eventually, you are going to pull yourselves into. You get further into the south side. She does start to look a little bit wary. You should probably be a little bit aware when you're driving down here. We just passed, the Lupine border after, the 90s. Oh, you were asleep for all this. Well, in the 90s, 92, there was an attack. The Lupines basically attacked Chicago by force. There was, I would say, half the kindred population was taken out. Again, this is all stuff I've been told, but basically, there was a peace treaty signed up by Prince Jackson. He is the current Caramilla prince, and we kind of in neutral territory, as in their territory. They're not allowed past the border, but now it's a case of just be on your lookout.
Don't worry, I have experience dealing with the lupines.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's same. I've been alive for 900 years. I've encountered everything you can imagine. Usually we resolve things peacefully, but
With
not exactly. Mind you, to be fair, the last time I spoke with Lupine, we were chowing down on an SS officer, so.
Très bien. So, before we get to where Grigori is heading, we're actually going to switch scenes, and we're going to meet up with our next vampire. And we're going to find ourselves on the night road. A little bit quieter out here, far less people. We're on the outskirts of Chicago, heading in. Towards the south, moving up. So, Tezzy, I have a question for you. What kind of vehicle do you think that Tezzy and Lorenzo would spend most of their time driving in?
Hello, can you hear me? Can you hear me?
We can hear you, we can hear you.
Oh, sorry. You scared me for a second. Oh, I don't know what it's called. Hold on.
Mm-hmm.
Oh gosh, oh no. I'm gonna destroy the stream, aren't I? People are gonna tune out.
Oh, honey, I think that ship sailed with a flipping snowblower, so it's fine.
Yep.
Oh dang it. Oh god, I don't know what it's called. It's
okay.
it's a Dodge Corolla. That's it. Dodge
Okay.
Polara. Sorry, I was thinking of a 1960 Dodge Polara.
Okay, very cool. How would you describe it?
Is that okay?
Yeah, no, it's your vehicle.
Yeah. Wait, no, wait. You can take pictures from you.
It's all good. I apologise for throwing you on the spot there. But it did.
No one can hear me. No one can hear me.
We can hear you. We can hear you. We
Okay.
can hear you.
I can
it's
hear.
fine.
Oh, I can't hear anything. Now I can hear you.
Okay, there we go. Technology, yes. Anyway, it's cool. So, as you're driving down the road with your ghoul Lorenzo on the side seat, there are two individuals in the back having a conversation. Two passengers who you're currently ferrying from one city to another. You just left the city of Indianapolis. Indianapolis has always been a city of interest to America's vampires, with many coming to trade services and information even when it was under the control of the Sabbat. Now with something referred to as the Beckoning having pulled this death cult out of the city, a new organisation, the Ministry, have claimed the domain of Indianapolis. And now the doors are open wide. Travel is constant. There's all sorts of individuals and trades and deals done in the crossroads of America. It was in Indianapolis that you picked up not just your travelling companion, a fellow Ravnos, an elder by the name of John Gray, but also his package. Basically, his car had been destroyed and he wanted to borrow yours. And so, wanting to be a gracious hostess, probably also accepting a favour in the meantime, he basically jumped into your vehicle, along with his package. His package is a gentleman who appears to be in his late 20s, early 30s, who insists you refer to him as Harley Crippen, a pharmacist. This man is dressed in a designer suit, no tie, has very expensive leather attaché cases which look the perfect size for semi-automatic weapons, and is also, like John, a vampire. The two of them have been chatting like old friends for a little while, but eventually, the conversation lulls down, and John turns to you. I must say, I really appreciate you picking us up at such short notice, darling. Very kind of you, I must say.
Me, I can't really. I cannot refuse Gray anything.
Oh.
Isn't that right, Johnny?
Oh, that one was Johnny. So that voice was Johnny. Yeah, John's. He just gives you a big grin. Oh well, it's all good, darling. The one who the passenger who insists you call him Mr. Crippen, he's more of like a. He's also English of a kind. He seems to be more of like a East London Cockney vibe. Johnny boy's always had a bit of a way with the ladies, hasn't he, John? Indeed. Well, no, if it weren't for you, darling, we might have been in some real dire straits. Things have been a little bit crazy down south, and these roads aren't exactly the safest. There's lupines all over the place. So, Lord knows we weren't going to be walking our way.
Well, it wouldn't be the first, and it wouldn't be the most dire of straits, so if you know what I mean. But yeah, you know that you're always welcome here, and so long as you treat Lorenzo with respect, we are good. He's my family, as you know.
John nods, but the passenger sort of pipes up a little. Oh, you're treating it like... Oh, okay, them as family. Fair enough. I mean, it's not how we do business back in my neck of the woods, but hey, your car, your rules. And like I say, she's not bad for a woman driver, is she? You can't see his eyes, but you can tell John's rolling his eyes behind the shades. Would you please stop antagonizing my friends?
It's alright, as long as he just might want to be careful, or I might mistaken which joystick I used to pull the car.
Oh, darling, don't threaten me with a good time. This sort of banter continues for a little bit. I would say the vibe you get from this individual is you've spent a few decades transporting people back and forth across the various roads of America, and I would say this as well. Give me, with your character sheet, let me see what would be the best thing in this instance. If you could give me investigation and intelligence roll. So on your skills, go over to where it says investigation, hit that, then you would hit intelligence, and the difficulty is going to be 2.
Hold on a second. Okay. Just because my character sheet, and dang it, okay, it is not opening, which it was open, and now it is a transparent rectangle.
So yeah, you've got where it says there's the tab bio and info. If you go to the next tab over, you hit character sheet.
I know this. I mean, it's I know I had the character sheet open, but now it's become a transparent, a translucent box.
Oh, I see. Yeah, double click that translucent box.
Okay. Oh,
Yeah.
Here we go. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
I was so scared I was gonna have to reopen Roll20. Okay, here we go. I got it now. Okay. Oh my God, you became so tiny. Why did you become so tiny? Okay. So I go to attributes. No, I go back to character sheet. Okay, so you said investigation.
Yeah, so that's in your skills. So investigation, it should be on the right-hand side, the third column.
Yep.
And
then
then
I put two. Wait, I put skills. Wait, no. What do I put? As second attribute? No,
Yeah.
wait, I'm touching the wrong thing, aren't I?
you hit investigation. Then you're going to choose intelligence from the drop down menu, because what it's basically saying is you need to add these dice together, and that's going to be the pool of dice.
And I put 2 on the extra dice one. Okay.
No extra dice. You don't take extra dice.
Oh, okay then.
Yeah, no.
So I did open it. Okay, so did it work? Did I put it in?
It should now ask you what the difficulty is, and the difficulty for this is going to be 2.
Okay, I clicked something wrong then, because I had, okay, good. Okay, under skills, I put investigation, then I had put intelligence, then I clicked submit, and then it says input value extra dice, so...
Then you hit 0.
Okay, 0, and submit. Okay, there we go. Difficulty 2. Thank you. There we go.
There we go. Again, it's a little bit convoluted, the system, but yeah. 3 successes. 3 successes. Yeah. I would say that as you've been listening between the lines to this conversation and everything, you've picked up on a couple of things. For the casual rudeness that this individual has displayed to Lorenzo, your ghoul, you have picked up the fact that when he and John are chatting to each other about quote-unquote old times, they have mentioned a few phrases that John has mentioned in the past, in the brief times that you've interacted with John before. And you get the impression that this vampire is old, as old, if not older than John. And you know that John has been around since the 1400s. John is an older vampire, possibly the oldest Ravnos, certainly one of the oldest surviving Ravnos that you're aware of in your travels. So who this person is, you don't know, but you're pretty sure the name Holy Crippen's just an alias. But with 3 successes, I would say that you would also have picked up on the fact that this isn't the first dangerous person that you've ferried from one location to another. So whatever they're doing in Chicago is probably not going to be any good. But you're a courier, it's not really your problem. As the night wears on and you're heading down the road, I'm going to get one more roll from you, and it's the same as earlier. Can I get let's say, give us a wits and investigation and wits.
Okay, and difficulty 2 as well?
Difficulty, I would say difficulty 3. Difficulty 3 for this one.
Here comes evil
One
DM.
success, unfortunate. So I have a question for you. Since you failed this roll, you have two options. Because you had one success in the roll, you have a choice of succeeding at a cost, or you have a choice of re-rolling up to 3 dice by burning one of your willpower. What would you like to do? Or would you like to just accept the failure?
This is a catch-22, isn't it? Okay.
Yes.
I will accept the success at a cost.
Success at a cost. Okay. As you're driving down the road and everything, you notice that there appears to be a bit of a fire in the distance. It's as you see the fire, as you're noticing the fire, your senses are heightened enough to where you are able to suddenly swerve to the side to avoid the falling tree that almost slams into your vehicle. What would you like to do? Would you like to... You have the option to continue driving, or as you all skid to the side, you have the option of pulling up and seeing what happened. What would you like to do?
Courier, I would think I would keep driving on. Not my problem. My only job is to get this guy to where he needs to be.
Very wise, because as you're starting to pull away, you hear uncomfortably close by a howling sound. Oh, that's not fucking good. And as you look in the rearview mirror, you are going to see the form of a large, towering, wolf-like entity barreling towards your vehicle. Can I please have you roll? I would say let's get things going here. Now then, what do I want you to roll? I'm going to have you roll a drive check on your character sheet. However, let's see, what else do I want to roll? I would say, here's the question: are you trying to go fast, or are you going to be controlled? Are you panicking, or are you focused?
Ravnos, this is nothing to me. I am focused.
You are focused. Okay, in that case, drive plus composure, and because you didn't stop, I'm going to give you 1 bonus dice. The difficulty is 3.
Okay, so extra dice 1, and then 3. Okay.
Yeah. 2 successes. That's unfortunate. Same as before. Do you want to make the devil's bargain, or do you want to burn a point of willpower to re-roll that 1 failed dice?
My willpower, this is going to give me vulnerability, I know this.
So this is how things work with willpower and everything. Basically, the way it works, your character has a certain amount of willpower.
It's for hunger, I remember. It's like how much I need to eat. Wait, no, how badly I need to eat.
It's more your self-control than anything else.
Okay. Okay, given the circumstances in which we find ourselves, I can afford to lose a little bit of control. Okay, 1 willpower, goodbye.
Okay then. So re-roll. You can re-roll that 1 dice. So what I'm going to ask you to do is just in the D20 in the on the left-hand side of your screen, mouse over where it says the various dice near the bottom, and roll me a D10. Just a regular D10, and we'll see if it's a success or not.
but I'm sorry. Where did I find the die?
Okay, so basically,
The
the dice
I
roller.
yeah, on the D10. Okay,
Yeah.
there we go. There we go.
That is unfortunately a failure. So, as Tezzy is trying to, remain calm and focused, the entire car goes as it appears that you have extracted a Klingon.
Wrong franchise.
So, I would say at this point, your passenger is cracking open one of his briefcases and is pulling out a semi-automatic machine gun. It's going to take him a minute or two to load it. John is basically like reaching. Basically, he's like looking up, but he's also shrinking down into his seat, and he's sort of he's basically doing a little bit of a gesture with his hands. You hear a pained yelping and a confused growling coming from above. What would you like to do next?
Okay, you mean what would I like to do to help?
Yes. What would you like to do? Do you want to try and shake this passenger off the roof of your car? Do you want to screech? Like pull to a screeching halt and hope that it rolls off? What would you like to try and do to fix this situation?
Okay, is there anything ahead of the road, or is this just like a empty road?
It is a fairly empty road. You are kind of in the middle of nowhere at night, which is probably one of the reasons why the lupine felt comfortable enough to attack you.
I am guessing this as well. Okay. Okay. Let me just measure my options for a second. Because let's say I managed like in the films where you like hit a puppy and you let the puppy run away. The doggy will go and jump against you unless he's wounded enough, which I would have to roll over him. Which the Dodge is a beautiful car, so I don't know. Yes, I could.
It was a beautiful car. The roof might need a little bit of work, as you do hear scraping sounds and you see massive holes in the roof as it is trying to plow its way into this delightful tin can of fresh meat. Or not so fresh meat.
Question. Is his face at all visible through the holes he has been making?
Are you looking up while you're trying to drive? I would say if you want to do that, Lorenzo, your terrified ghoul, is going to try and take the wheel from you as you're doing that.
Yes, that's what I was thinking, because let's say if I can get close enough to his face, maybe I could, poke an eye or something.
This woman has no fear. Okay. Yeah. Okay. In that case, give me a. Let's call it athletics mixed with resolve. Difficulty of. I would say difficulty of 3.
Okay. 0 dice, right? Okay, so
yeah.
And 3. Come on.
Oh, so close. Would you like to expend another point of willpower? This way you can re-roll all 3 of those dice.
Or have a cost, right?
You all succeed at a cost. What the cost is going to be when you're trying to face down an angry lupine, who knows?
I will go for the cost. We go for the cost.
Okay. So, what exactly are you trying to do? You're trying to basically just poke it in the eye?
Thinking, if I can stab Joe forward towards the eye, I might be able to penetrate the skull, if I am lucky enough. Maybe. Yeah.
Okay.
Maybe I have a silver dagger? Could I have a silver dagger? Is it possible? No.
Unfortunately, that is not something we previously set up, but you do travel these roads a lot. You know what? Because it's your first time, and I'm a very kind person when you get to know me. Honestly, I'm kind. Yes, you actually do have a silver, very sharpened letter opener.
Yay! Okay. Thank you. I appreciate the kindness. Now I kind of feel bad. Please don't hit me, team. Please don't hit me.
Give me a melee mixed with your dexterity.
Okay, 1 second. You said melee mixed with dexterity?
Yes, and the difficulty you're trying to beat is going to be a... I would say this one's going to be a tricky one. Let's just keep it at 3 for the moment. Okay.
I'm gonna die. I'm gonna get somebody killed in this thing. Okay.
Oh dear, that was unfortunate. Now, unfortunately, I think it's going to be the werewolf's turn. It is going to take a... I would say it is going to take a swipe at you. Strength plus brawl.
I should be back in a few minutes.
Not a problem.
It's okay. Ready to fire.
Yep, nothing bad's gonna happen while you're gone.
Yeah. It's like
Ready to fire for when you get back.
I can't
I sure
wait
hope
to
that
see.
this role of the werewolf isn't the cost.
Okay, for some reason the oh, there we go. That took a while. Deanna, I would like Tezzy to give me a let's call it a if you're trying to avoid these huge claws, I would say I'm going to be kind and let's call it athletics plus dexterity.
Difficulty 3 or more?
The difficulty is 3 because it rolled 3 on its attack. So you're trying to match and beat its attack. That's 5. Yes, that is 5 successes. Very, very well done. Yeah, you're able to easily duck out of the way of that. I would say you may have felt like a slight lock of your hair, you know, shift slightly, but other than that, you are fortunately and surprisingly enough not decapitated by the very angry werewolf. At this point,
damn dirty mutt. Sorry, go ahead.
Oh, racism! I love it. But I would say, just close to your head, you hear another burst of automatic gunfire as the passenger with the tattoo opens up again. The werewolf sort of like leans back a little in frustration. You see next John reach forward, concentrating. And the werewolf starts, you know, patting at itself in, you know, confusion, like it's trying to put out a fire or, you know, trying to get rid of insects that aren't there. When it gets pancaked by a road sign, and your midnight passenger has left you for now. So,
What was the cost though? What did I lose?
we will find. Well, let me put it to you this way. You've got a convertible! You've lost the roof of your car, I'm afraid.
Oh, that's not okay. That's not as bad as I was. I was scared for a second. My poor Lorenzo was going to suffer something bad.
I would say this as well. While all this was going on, the moment the werewolf appeared, here's my question to you first of all. Does Tezzy have any previous experience with werewolves? Or is
We
it
have
just
traveled these
reputation?
roads many a times, and we have gone around the world Then I would think so, yes.
Yeah, you're smart enough to at least carry a silver weapon. Yeah, you know that mortals, even ghouls, there's something about werewolves that gives them a primal sense of dread. They can't cope being around them. So the fact that Lorenzo was able to hold onto the wheel and everything while you were taking care of business required a large amount of willpower. Very high stress situation, but he's slowly calming himself down. Are you all right, my dear? This is it.
It hasn't been. It's not my first time. My first time dog walking. So yes, I'm fine.
Can we just get a cat? I don't want dogs. I don't think dogs are going to be good for me.
A cab? You want a cab in the middle of nowhere? Are you insane?
He said a cat.
Oh, a cat.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, we can get a cat. Yes, we can go.
Yes.
I'm very good with animals actually. We can get many cats.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, cats are nice. Cats are nice. And he just slowly melts into the side passenger seat. It's like, you know, just 1,000-yard stare as I assume you've taken over the wheel at this point.
Yes, but it's okay. You rest now. For now, querido. I will get us. I will get us there. Don't you worry.
Gracias. And he's just out. Brushing himself off, you know, your two backseat passengers, you know, look around. Oh, sorry, darling. I think you might need to change vehicles at some point. This looks like this one's gone past its MOT.
Yes, you know, I will probably be getting. Well, given the hefty bonus you're probably going to owe me for this damage, yes, I will be getting something new.
That would be Johnny Boy's problem, unfortunately. I'm just the passenger here. I've already paid for my services. John, so like, he basically leans reaches into his pocket, and he's going to hand you a very large wad of bills. This should get you a new car, love. Sorry about that. I know how much you loved Bessie.
I can always get a new 1960 pristine condition vehicle at any cost, sure.
I mean,
no,
you know
problem.
that.
It's okay.
I mean, you know that Frenchman. He's connected. He might be able to, you know, hook you up with someone.
This is true. Plus, I am pretty used to getting parts, and I need.
At this point, I would say you're starting to get into the beginnings of the city proper. You're starting to come past various, you know, small towns that start to spiral into larger towns, and in the distance you're starting to see the skyscrapers and the large freeways that make up the south end of Chicago. At this point, your passenger looks over to John. Well, thank you for the entertaining trip. It's always a pleasure, my friend. I'm gonna be jumping out in a little bit, but I know that we're square and all that, but you trust the young lady, I'm assuming? John nods. I mean, that's all very well and good, but pardon me, love. Nothing personal. Tezzy, one final roll for now. I need you to give me a resolve and intelligence.
I'm going to kill this bastard. Okay, hold on. Resolve.
I mean, maybe not in the first session.
Okay.
Oh, sorry. It's intelligence. Yeah, intelligence and resolve. Either one works.
Oh, okay. Thank you.
Yeah, sorry. The difficulty you're trying to meet is
Wait. I cannot find either of the two.
Oh, these are both in your attributes.
Ah, no, I found it. Yeah. Thank you. Oh, wait. So which one do I pick?
Intelligence, then resolve. Either one should be fine.
And what is the difficulty, please?
Well, the difficulty is 4, and you only have 3 dice. So what you could do is I would allow you to, as a free action, I'd allow you to get a blood surge, which, according to your blood potency, which is surprisingly rich, you would gain an extra 3 dice to your roll.
Okay, so where do I find this?
Okay, so, well, the intelligence and resolve. Basically, if you want, you can roll intelligence and resolve again, and you can add 3 dice to the pool. However, you are going to have to make a hunger check.
Okay, how do I get the 100? Oh, do I have to do the hunger check before?
If you could do a hunger check before, please.
Okay, where is he?
So, towards the bottom, where it says hunger, it requires... You see where it says rouse check? What that does is, it's basically, whenever you're using an ability that calls on the blood, it requires you to rouse the blood and risk the beast getting hungrier. And incidentally, I just...
Oh, sorry. Oh, here we go. Found it.
Yeah.
This browse check. There we go. Okay.
So you do not get hungrier, so you gain those extra 3 dice on top of your intelligence and resolve, and the difficulty is going to be 4.
Okay. So 3, and we get 4 difficulty, and...
Wow.
Damn!
Okay.
Damn.
Okay, I'm going to switch off part of the overlay because everyone needs to see this. Everyone needs to see this. Where is the Twitch? Oh, come on. Let's get the
Damn,
chat window.
the gods hate me, don't they?
Yes, they do. Look at that. Witness that. You have... Wow, and that's after a blood surge and everything. I'd say this, honey. You absolutely have the ability to burn another point of willpower in order to rectify this wrong.
Whenever they ask if this is not a game of chance, people, if anyone is watching, this is a game of chance.
You know how I became a convertible? I think her dice are only half the dice too, the lower half.
All right, yeah. Okay, let's lose a bit of willpower.
Mm-hmm. It's been a
All right.
stressful night.
And besides this, you know what? Besides, it doesn't matter. If I'm more feral, I'll probably be able to beat this little bastard to a pulp. So you know, it's okay.
Yeah, he's only from the
It's
Dark
okay.
Ages. It's fine.
All right, let's see.
Uh,
Yay!
Oh, okay. Well, I'll allow this.
Before, yeah.
I will allow this, but again, it's like the point of burning a willpower is you're re-rolling 3 dice. So 3 of the failed
did
dice. Oh no, because you did the entire roll again.
Oh no! Do not allow! I will fix it. We have to be fair. We have to be fair. I do not care. Go.
Okay.
Go on.
I respect you there. Okay.
There. Don't you dare. No. You already made an exception for me. We're good.
Okay.
It is okay. It is okay. It is fine.
Yeah, that's fine. So 3 successes, unfortunately, doesn't beat a 4. So
No, it does not.
the basically this is what happens. As you're driving, the British dude reaches over and catches you by the eye in the mirror and says, "Oh, by the way, darling, I appreciate it if you forget about this." And you blink a moment, and then you find yourself in the side seat of your car. You are further into the city, and Lorenzo has taken up the driving, with John in the back seat. Are you back with us, darling? Your other passenger is nowhere to be seen, and you are in a much different area than where you were before.
Yeah. Yes. What happened?
I don't take it personally. He just he's a guy who appreciates his privacy, so you and Lorenzo weren't his client. Well, he was my client, so I know where he is. But he's going to be in the city a while, and he didn't want any visitors.
You know, next time you could just tell me you're going to and blindfold me. It's not like the first time. Never mind.
I mean, let's be honest. No offense to Lorenzo, but you're not a bad driver. And it's even then, though, I don't think he'd be very good at driving.
Oh, it's fine. Just next time I see that little prick, I will make sure that his shrinks just a tad.
I would say at this point, as you guys are heading further north, we are going to change scene to our final and most patient vampire of all.
Waiting makes it taste better.
Yes, we find ourselves in Chicago proper, in a area that is near, basically it's part of the South Loop near Dearborn Park. Let me just get my notes and let me switch our background to... Let's learn a little bit about Bluebird, shall we? So,
Of course.
deep in Toreador-controlled territory, our next monster is busy preparing for her evening's guests. This luxury condo building on South Michigan Avenue is just a few minutes walk down from the Grantscape Park, and it's home to the famous Angora sculptures, 106 headless iron figures that have been placed by the Polish artist Magdalena I cannot pronounce that. Abkawakit Magdalena in 2006. Maggie to her friends. The condo building is home to a few smaller businesses on the ground floor. There's a delightful Mediterranean restaurant, a yoga fitness gym, and a private dental practice among them. It's perfect feeding grounds for the vampire who likes their meals exotic, healthy, and in some cases, minty fresh.
Mm-hmm.
And it is in this building that we find our dear friend Bluebird. So, Bluebird, you are kind of multitasking at the moment. You have been trying to set up for a meeting later on tonight. You not only are going to be bringing, you are basically going to be doing a little bit of work for your patron, Annabelle, who is the Primogen, the Toreador Primogen of Chicago, very influential woman. Not only that, but you're also playing host to a very good friend of yours, Albert Bassett, but Bertie to his friends.
It's always lovely when you're here, Bertie. And the apartment building, I'm in my apartment building, right?
You are in your apartment, yes.
Yes, my apartment, my lush apartment that smells of jasmine and lemon sherbet and rock candy. And what did you say? I couldn't hear what I was doing for Annabelle. That what I wasn't clear on.
The plan is that you're basically trying to put things together, the final preparations for the big event tonight. Annabelle is hosting a salon. Not an Elysium, it's not some public event that any kindred can attend.
Right.
This is a private event for
And
only
may I
the
ask
best.
Sorry, go ahead.
Basically, she's had you work on decorations for a little while. Bertie has been offering assistance, and you are also going to be bringing your new charge tonight as well to assist you, Alice.
And the question, yes, Alice. And then the question I had was for the party. What was the theming? What's the mood of the of the situation? What kind of vibe are they going for?
And hell. It's going to be on multiple floors. Heaven above and hell below.
So, light and smoke for clouds and burning.
I probably want to make sure that all of the smoke alarms are disconnected again. We don't want to repeat of last month. Some of my best work.
That wasn't my fault. That wasn't my fault.
I forgive you. I forgive you.
And they did not listen.
But yeah, Bertie is he's when he's around you, he's a little more relaxed than he is around, other vampires and everything. He's currently got his feet up on Llewellyn. He's currently flipping through a old leather-bound book. Just chuckling
Is it
to
my book?
himself. It is not your book, no.
Mm-mm.
It is. Let me just see if I've got the exact name of it here. He's been flipping through it for a little bit and smirking to himself and making notes in his notebook. If you were glancing at it, the name is Revelations of the Dark Mother.
Oh, I love a good biography.
Well, I wouldn't call this a biography, more a collection of stories. There was this woman, I'm not actually sure if she was Toreador or Smeechy or something, Rachel Dolium. Woman is absolutely batshit, but she was basically hired to do a whole expose on Lilith cults, and this is a collection of stories that she gathered about the Bahari. It's a particular cult devoted to the Dark Mother. Of course, you get seen carrying this around in modern kindred society, you're going to be burned alive, but, well, I trust you, darling.
Well, you needn't worry about me. I don't exactly believe in censoring people in my own home.
It's most appreciated. He stretches his feet. Every now and then you hear Llewellyn give a little whimper. Would you care to describe Llewellyn at all, or is he beneath description?
Llewellyn is beneath description, but Llewellyn is a bit of an it. Llewellyn is a human, white, about in his 20s. He is not wearing clothes. He is battered, disheveled, scarred, and glad for it.
Okay. Are we talking totally nude or just wide
Totally
fronts?
nude. Totally nude.
Okay, fair enough. Just,
Sorry.
Yeah.
I thought I made that clear before.
Just wanted clarification.
Yeah.
Now Birdie's just like, chuckling and humming to himself. Tell me, you said this new girl, Alice, would be coming. Not met her yet. What's your measure of the child?
Measure of what now?
Well, what she like is, you mentioned she was Nosferatu, but other than that, I know nothing about her.
And you remember, there are no judgments on appearance in my home. Everyone here is beautiful.
Darling, you know me, like I've got room to talk about that sort of thing.
Yes, of course. I haven't really gotten a good measure of her yet, I've got to admit. People in their formative times are so difficult to read. Yeah. They're putting on a show, and they're also evolving, marinating. I would like to not make too many big judgments until they figure out who and what they're all about for the next eternity.
It's valid, I suppose. I suppose my question is, what do you think? She's a Nosferatu. Would you say she's suffering, miserable with her torment, or bitter and twisted and ready for vengeance? No, Summer, is she fun? Is she fun?
Oh, I think she's going to be great fun. But the thing is, I think that she's on the right side of things. I think she's reaching into the pool.
Early days yet, so no, basically baby steps,
Baby steps, but I think she's going to end up on the right side of things. I think she's going to embrace life.
No blood fountains today. Fair enough. Oh, best behaviour. In that, are you going to be putting this?
Is that really your best behaviour, Birdie?
In public, certainly, darling. He kicks Llewellyn with the heel of his boot. Are you
That
going to be
reminds
having
me.
this
Sorry, what?
Are you going to be having this on display when she comes in? Then
That's what I was just saying. This reminds me. Sweetie dear, come here, come here, come here.
I only just realised I have to play Llewellyn as well, and
You won't have to do much.
This horrifically battered, poor, emaciated shell of what was once a human being, slowly on all fours, pads towards you, like hands and knees, and does this whole little, does not look at you. Is just like a 1,000-yard stare, just looking at the ground, eyes open in absolute terror, waiting for.
She bends down and puts a hand on his head and squeezes and says, "Great."
He nods and waits for you to remove the hand before.
Oh, he nodded. He nodded, did he? She pulls the hair. Says, "Do we nod? Do we nod?" And then she waits for a moment to see if he does anything at all.
He does not do a damn thing.
We don't know words. Now, let's try that again. Great. And then she lets go.
He shuffles to his crate,
which is in another room behind a regular door.
Mm-hmm.
She shuts the door. Well, she turns off the light inside, so it's in total darkness. Shuts the door, locks it, spins a little dial lock, shuts the dial lock, walks back and goes, "Oh, the mood is lightened now."
Yes, much better. Yes, far more family friendly.
Yes, very much so.
I would say at this point you hear a knock on the door. Bertie sort of like narrows his eyes a little. Your girl's early?
She says, "Well, time is of the essence." And then she goes over and just opens the door warmly and says, come in, everyone," with no judgments, as if she's just invited all of them in perfectly fine.
So you don't check who's at the door?
Wonderful. Oh no, I thought you said it was Alice.
No.
No, she checks. She uses her little viewer thing.
Okay.
So I thought you were telling me that in advance to move the scene along.
Sorry. No. It's all good. As you look through the little, I would say like there's a peephole.
It's a panel. There's not a peephole. There is a panel with digital.
Okay. So basically through the digital panel, you see not Alice, but your two female figures, both of them dressed in very beautiful, expensive, basically look like they're out for a social gathering or a high gala event. One of them, bright frosted white hair, both looking to be about in their 20s. One of them is your patron, Annabelle. The other is her secretary, assistant, you're not too sure what her role is. Another Toreador by the name of Portia, and they are both waiting by the door for you to let them in.
Now, I will do this in a second, but I did need to clarify something that was said in the first scene with Alice, which was you said that vampires aren't allowed to use each other's names?
No. It's not so much that. It's a case of vampires don't like using the word vampire.
I thought you said don't use their names, and I was like, what? That was something I missed in the lore? No, then she actually looks back over to Bertie and says, "Oh, you might want to change things up. It's Annabelle and Portia."
I'm not here! And Burley instantly zips to one of the side rooms.
Imagine going into the dark room with the naked man.
Yes.
No, that would not be...
I know, it's locked, but still, the image is there.
Yeah, and...
I'm not ready, I'm not in my outfit.
Come back when you're ready. Are you here? Are you here, though? Are you here?
I am not here.
Okay, go. And then she opens the door and says, what is the proper greeting term for formality for your boss?
That I will leave entirely up to Bluebird.
Oh, okay, because I wanted to know if there was a special term. Because she's not going to be all milady.
Basically, you do know, like,
she
the
is
rank that Annabelle has is she is the primogen of
Yeah, but she
the
wouldn't say
Toreador,
that in a
which is
public place. So she would
This is
say
true.
she would actually just do what she normally does, which is she would open the door,
Mhm.
not say anything, affect a submissive posture, and bow her head and toward entry. Like that is her permission. She doesn't even have to say it because they shouldn't need to hear it said, but it does have to be acknowledged because those are the rules.
Yeah. Okay. The two women step inside Annabelle. She has this whole like, Bluebird darling, thank you so much for having us in at your sweet little abode. I must say, I like what you're doing with the wall. Interesting, very retro, very daring. And so anyway, I want to make sure that everything is prepared for tonight. The guest will be arriving soon, and Portia and I are going to be heading there to make sure the final preparations are made.
And she nods and says, "Yes, here's the theming." And she walks away and retrieves her little booklet that has like a sort of a vague idea of it with like some of the highlights of the decor, and says, I'm thinking of calling it Heaven's Rain, REIGA, and very obvious."
Ooh, darling, I like it. I like it.
You
Portia,
just see
the
here, it's
whole.
a lot of light, a lot of light, a lot of dry ice. It's just going to create a mood. It's going to allow the people to fill the space with themselves and express their emotions.
Ooh, I
Also,
love the way things.
hello, Portia.
Portia just gives you the coldest look.
Oh, come on, dear. Can we just have fun with this?
I'm having the time of my life.
Beautiful, darling. And she says, and she says to Annabelle, she says, so everything's ready. I'm just, going through my rituals of, I like to center myself before I attend one of my own events. To oversee, of course, just to make sure everything's going all right.
I was about to say, darling, you do know this is one of my salons. This isn't one of your little.
Says, I'm talking about from the background. I want to make sure that nothing goes wrong.
Good. As long as you're staying in the background, darling. Remember that.
She nods and says, "Isn't that the whole point of it all?"
Indeed. But
she
yes.
Seems very pleased.
Well, I must say, I do like the designs and everything. I'm looking forward to seeing it in person, what you've been working on. The artist that you hired, this individual, I've not heard of them before, and you say they're kindred, is that correct?
I'm not aware of any reason why to keep it secret, right?
You are aware of many reasons to keep it secret. Because Birdie does not.
Well, I wouldn't have told her it was kindred.
Okay.
Yeah, I wouldn't have said that unless I was, because that doesn't get mentioned about anyone, even people it's obvious about. So Bluebird's, remember, and to prove that further, you remember our discussion, which is that she wants to not be part of any secrets and games.
Okay. Well, just so we're clear, there are going to be some individuals there, shall we say, complicated backgrounds. This isn't some Elysium. This isn't a public event. This is a very select private gathering, and of course, discretion is everything. I want my friends to have fun. Let their hair down. Right. And in a safe and secure place where nobody opens their mouths. So I just want to be sure that the people who have assisting you can be trusted. Because of course if they do anything wrong, darling, it's on you.
I'm very much aware, my dear. And she says, but I wanted to ask a question. What was the subject of hors d'oeuvres brought up? What was the deal there?
Oh, don't worry, we've already provided hors d'oeuvres there. I just wanted you to work on the ambience,
That was not out loud, that was to develop.
Oh, I'm so sorry. But I mean, I would say that's absolutely fine in character as well. But yeah, no, you're not working on the food. You're not the catering.
Okay.
You're working on the.
There are. She did make sure that there were walled areas where someone, with the sound near to the music, where someone could get nommed without it being observed by other people. So it could be obvious to everyone what's going on, but also, in public and private at the same time for the people who want to show off and the people who want security.
I would say that I will say this, my dear. While we do have most of our, shall we say, catering taken care of, one or two of the people we're going to be entertaining tonight, they do have special needs, shall we say.
That's exactly what I thought you were talking about, Annabelle.
So,
that's what I meant.
I do hope that you don't mind if on occasion I might call on you for a small donation.
She nods and says, "Of course. You have me for that sort of thing anytime you need. And if you look here at the design, that's what these little rotunda rooms are for."
Ah, good girl.
You'll
Very
notice then
good.
near the music, there's an entrance in that can be secured and shut, and they're largely not going to carry any sound because of what's around them. That was the whole design of these little cloud formations, these structures.
Normally I don't mind who hears me doing what I do, but I respect the thought.
I know you're all about autonomy and choice.
Mine at least.
Yes.
Well, unless there's anything else, darling, we have a part to prepare for. No?
You're going to make sure Portia has a good time too, right, Annabelle?
Portia always has a good time. And Portia just sort of raises an eyebrow and gives a nod to Annabelle.
"Oh, have fun. Y'all have eternity." And then she just says, "And would there be anything else?"
Oh, I would actually say at this point, Portia actually steps forward and gives you a cool, appraising look. Oh, I know how to have fun, my dear. Don't you worry about that.
She says, "Never any way I've been able to tell. I just want everybody to have a good time. It's my party, and if it's not a success, everybody's just going to be..." She completely ignores what Portia said. And she says, "I just want everybody to have a good time. I want it to be a fun experience for everybody involved."
We'll see how the night goes.
Yeah. And don't worry about a thing. Neither of you should be worried. This should be a night for yourselves. Just treat me like I'm part of the furniture." And she casts a quick eye over back to the room.
Oh, don't worry. We can do that, darling. And with that, Annabelle follows Portia as Portia has already left.
Seriously, make sure she has a good time or I'm going to be really depressed. Please. I'm begging you.
Darling, it'll be fine.
I stress. And then she's going to let go at that point and then wave happily.
Okay. So eventually, Burley lifts his head up from behind the couch or wherever he was hiding. Finally, that's taken care of. And I'd say it's...
What are you doing here? I didn't know you came in.
Charming. No, delightful. And I'd say a little bit of time is going to pass. In the meantime, however, we are going to find ourselves in a different location. This is the south side of Chicago. And let's get that music set up. There we go. So, we find ourselves in the south end of Chicago. The location specifically is let's see, because we went a little bit out of sequence, so my notes, there we go. Past the Lupine border that's marked by the East 79th Street, and just by the train tracks that cut through East 83rd, is Russell Square Park, totaling in just under 10 acres. Its only structure, the field house, is sitting on the northwestern corner of the park, and features a few amenities for the locals. There's a gymnasium, a fitness centre, and various rooms that can be put to a variety of uses. Tonight, one such room is being put to a very particular use as a meeting ground for two very old allies. As the Francourt twins have pulled up here along with Grigori and Aika, I would say that Grigori, you are going to notice several vehicles that are in the area that seem a little out of place. One of them is a luxurious vintage car. It's like not quite a limousine, it's almost like a Cadillac hearse. Beautiful design. You've seen this car before. You know it to be the property of Kajida's personal property, the ambassador of the Banu Hakim. The other car you may or may not have seen before, but it stands out mainly because it's a kind of beautiful looking car, but it's also missing its roof.
I see someone decided to skimp on getting a convertible.
So, you head inside.
That I do.
Okay. So, as you head inside, you find yourself in a small private room, and across the way from you, you see an older-looking Egyptian woman. She has, pale skin, dark hair, and Aika immediately bounds over next to her and assumes a, submissive stance next to her. It's good to see you again, mistress. The ambassador nods very slowly and casts her eyes over you.
Grigori will...
Oh, wow.
Ooh, yeah.
Yeah. I was going to say, geez, we've got more lichens outside.
Grigori will place his palm over his heart, do a bow, and in Arabic will say, "May the shadows protect us."
She responds in Arabic as well. May the shadows protect you too, my son. It is good to have you here at last. I trust my child has been showing you all the wonders of this new age.
Yes, I was quite amazed by the leaps and bounds the cattle have made.
The cattle have become most ingenious, yes.
So them yet, I suppose.
Aisha here has been invaluable to me in teaching me the ways of the modern knights. You just see this older one, she's just like almost absent-mindedly stroking the cheek of this younger girl, and she's just like, From what you know, Kahida is a very old vampire. Not so much in 1,000 years or something like that. You don't know her exact age. A, it's impolite to ask. But B, most vampires lie anyway. But you do know that she is old, and as such, she is given to being a little bit disconnected from the world that she's in. And as a result, she has a habit of finding younger individuals who are current and of the moment to be her window into the modern knights. Whether or not that's a healthy practice or not, that's entirely up for Grigori to decide, but Aher seems to be the latest in a line of young, fresh faces that she seems absolutely fascinated with.
I would It doesn't really it doesn't really affect him that much because he kind of does the same with the Franco family.
But does he discard the Franco family when they're no
No, he does
longer
not.
interesting?
He does not, but he understands why this happens, so he's not going to push it.
It's an age thing. Yes.
Yeah.
There are two other people in the room with you. One of them is a very tall, almost skeletally thin, lanky gentleman with long red hair, aviator glasses, a battered jacket, and worn-out denim pants. This is someone that you have known for the better part of at least 100 years or so. A traveller, trickster, and courier by the name of John Gray. Hello there, Gregory. How's it going?
It is going alright, John. How are you?
Oh, fine, gear. Can't complain too much. I mean, we had a little bit of a trip down here. Poor Tessie kind of ran afoul of one of the lupines.
Yes, I was understanding she had not wanted it comfortable, so...
The last vampire, of course, would be Tessie. So.
Are you with mon cher? Papita?
Deanna is currently muted.
Puppy, you're gonna have to unmute yourself.
It is all good.
Hello, hello. Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Hello.
We hear you. Yeah.
Yes. I'm sorry. My phone decided to kill. Well, not to kill me. It decided to piss me off. I'm sorry, everyone. Sorry for the foul language. My apologies.
Not a problem. Not a problem. Considering the horrible things vampires do, a bit of foul language is gonna be nothing.
Oh, right.
Well,
Uncle, you're always so funny, aren't you? Such a funny man.
Hang on, did you just call him Uncle?
Well, he's practically funny by now, kind of.
Fair enough.
He's
Not
at least
quite.
one of my favorite vampires, given that he doesn't care about the bureaucracy of it all.
The elderly ambassador in the room with you sort of raises an eyebrow at that. John chuckles to himself.
No offense. Okay, no offense, darling. You know, it's the fiery Latina in me.
Darling, indeed. So, now that we are all here, we of the Banu Hakim, you of the Ravnos, this area has been designated as shared territory by our two clans for many years now. Now is the time of our meeting and the sharing of information. So, Mr. Gray, what information from Los Angeles? Well, honestly, things are getting a little bit interesting. Since they lost the previous city, Caramilla are trying to head down to LA. We got some new guy, Prince Vanavar. He's currently making some waves, pissing off the local Anarchs. I do know as well, though, that the main thing that I was checking out down there, Thin Bloods do seem to be on the rise. I don't know yet if there's going to be anything of use down there, but I'm going to be heading down there soon, get some more information and bring it back to you. Appreciate it. And what of Indianapolis? I mean, it's still, you know, at least without the Sabbat there, it's not too bad. You've got the Ministry doing their thing, or, you know, snakes as I call them. They've got most of the place wrapped up with their freaky-deaky religions. But, I mean, anything's better than the Sabbat, right? At least nobody's trying to wear other people's skins or, you know, like disemboweling people on the streets and nothing like that. Indeed. As for my own information, we have had several more bits of information in regards to the beckoning. From what we can gather, elders of most clans of 400 years and other have been called away to multiple locations. Initially, we believed it was just to the Middle East, but there are other locations. One of them we believe might be Chicago itself. This is the reason that I brought myself and my retinue here, and one of the reasons why we requested Mr. Grigori to awaken a little early and help do some research for us. What do you know of the beckoning, Mr. Syracuse?
I can't say much for certain. It's been a while since I even heard that.
Essentially, elders of most clans have felt a pull, a calling to travel across the sea and sky. And wherever it is they go, they are never heard from again. The Sabbat, the death cult, they have taken this as a sign that the antediluvians, the sires of all of us, have returned and are using it as an opportunity to wage their Gehenna war. At the moment we know very little, but we have learned this information. None of the Banu Hakim and none of the Ravnos have felt the beckoning. Both Mr. Grey and yourself are elders of some age, and I myself am no fledgling. And we have confirmed this with other members of our family throughout the globe. Our bloodline is immune, it seems. So, what I require... Please speak.
I suspect that it is not so much immunity, but more that our particular spheres of expertise are not of use.
It is possible. I have some theories. One is, of course, with the deepest of respect to the Ravnos. They no longer have an antediluvian. The founder of their clan was destroyed in the 90s and led to unfortunate situations, which we do offer our full sympathies to. And she says this to both Tezzy and John. Our founder is one who we have always followed the letter of their message. And I believe that when the time comes for them to call us forth, we will know it. And we will be ready. But this other thing, this beckoning, is something different, I think. It is, whatever it is, making the structure in places like this more interesting. There are what is the parlance power vacuum that we of the Banu Hakim need to fill. Do you agree?
I would say that if there is indeed someone causing corruptions within the more established clans, it would be only sensible that we try to restore some form of order.
Oh, yeah, well, of course, restoring order is one thing, but I would personally suggest that we make use of the opportunity and not let their empty positions go to waste. Our clan has only recently joined the Caramilla, and now it seems there is far more opportunity within the organization. And you, Ravnos, you are outside of things, you are unaffiliated. You will be in a much better position to provide us with further information should it cross your paths, yes?
You are asking for us to snitch.
That is the arrangement that our families have had for thousands of years. You are information brokers, and we are assassins. We request information, and then we take out enemies to both of our lines. That is the arrangement that we have.
I just always enjoy hearing it come from such sweet lips. Make such dastardly things come from sweet lips is always such a pleasure.
Indeed. This is the arrangement. It has worked for nearly 1,000 years, and it will work for more. While even the Caramilla and all the other bloodlines, they squabble, we are united in our common goal. Mutual survival. To the rest of the Camarilla, they would treat you as caitiff, clanless, bloodless, devoid of their protection. But we of the Banu Hakim, we see you for what you are. You are Ravnos. You are an ally, an asset. With Grigori at your side, no harm will come to you. And I have a suspicion with you at his side, little harm will come to him either.
And be by his side, given our nature does not allow for prosperity in certain places.
Honestly, love, you might have to be a bit more specific there. Even I didn't get that one.
A lady does not divulge such things, I think.
Oh, personal business is personal business. That's absolutely fine. I think there was one other thing that we needed to mention, though. He leans forward to the group. Tally the Hound is now in Chicago. You see the ambassador blink slightly. Sethi, I would say that Grigori would have some knowledge of who Tally is, but to give you an opportunity to actually roll some dice this evening, would you please give me a... Let me see what kind of roll this would be. I would say if you could give me a... intelligence, I would say investigation and intelligence.
Right,
Difficulty of 1, because this is a name you might have come across.
Okay, so investigation and intelligence.
Yes.
And difficulty of 1.
Difficulty of 1. Ooh. Oh, no, yeah, you actually got it there. There we go. So that's one success, yeah. You know who Tally the Hound is. He is someone who's roughly from the same era as you are. While you are from France, he was from England. He was one of the earliest people who were adopted into the sect that became the Sabbat. He is a fairly dangerous individual, a Templar of the Sabbat, at least at one point, last time you checked. Contract killer, rival contract killer, someone fairly dangerous. You also know him to be of Clan La Sombra. Now, I know, yes, bad news. We're not sure how he got into the city, but basically Tally the Hound is going to be here now. That was another bit of information I figured that you should know, you know, deal and all that. Kahida, the ambassador, follows her brow. There was one final bit of information. There has been some concerning stories involving La Sombra. They seem to have an interest in not just this city, but the Caramilla in general. It would be ridiculous for them to try and join, but I want to make sure that whatever their interest in this place, our interests are protected. So any information you can find about this hound or the Sombra in general would be deeply appreciated. Unless there is any other business that we should discuss as a group. She looks to the rest of the party. John shrugs. Very well then. May the shadows protect you all. Beware. And both Kahida and Aika are going to depart. Aika gives you, as she's heading behind her sire, she just gives you a toothy grin and a big wave. See ya! And they're out.
Oh, man.
Well, I won't go lie. She's an interesting fella. Your boss.
We have not seen her for quite a time, but tell you that he's here then.
Yeah, honestly, I wouldn't worry too much about it. Probably just want to stay out of his way. I actually do believe that your friend here has a little something for you.
Oh, oui, monsieur. I apologize. Let's just say that this news was not exactly pleasant for me.
And here I thought we couldn't get flustered so easily, except when, well... Oh, don't worry.
I mean, let's be honest, I'll be honest with you. Normally I would say you two get a room, but I mean, I'm all fine for, just sitting here in the corner if you've got stuff you want to work out. That works for me.
Yeah. Again, we do not do that sort of thing in public.
Well, I'll leave you to your prudishness then. There is one thing I'm going to need. Tezzy, when you're done, I'm just going to need you for 2 minutes. You two, take care. And John is just going to step outside and wait. Now, Tezzy, while John was delivering his package into Chicago, you also have a package for Grigori. It was given to you by a woman in Indianapolis. Are you going to hand it off to him?
Yes, I will. Angela sends her regards, by the way.
Ah, merci, mon cher.
So,
Grigori will not open it yet. Yeah.
Okay. Okay, fair enough. The two of you have the room to yourselves. You do have a fellow elder vampire lurking outside though.
You didn't tell me to... Okay, go ahead.
You're not hurt, are you?
What's me hurt? It's a lot harder than a stupid little mutt to hurt me. Or were you talking about having to walk in and smell the bureaucracy pouring off your little friend?
You know how it is. I have to... Not so much toe the line, but... Well, we all have our jobs.
Well, if I'd known it was a fancy dress party, I would have come as a Harlequin.
I've missed you, mon cher.
I've missed you too. Then again, what happens? Oh yes, you were asleep again. Oh, don't tell me you were so tuckered out last time that you just had to take another little nap.
What can I say? The 80s were a hectic time for me.
Yeah, hectic. Leave me hanging 40 years again. Well, you get to miss out. Well, humanity doesn't change at all, and all the vampires do everything and nothing and don't even know what to do on a rainy afternoon. And oh, Lorenzo, almost got a girlfriend. Well, he did have a girlfriend, then he broke up with her again, and then he kind of got another girlfriend, and then he broke up with her again. And yes, it was interesting having a living telenovela following me around for almost 10 years.
I see I have quite a lot to catch up with.
Just a little. But what's got you so upset? Come on, tell me. You can share. Come on.
Knowing that he is here in the city.
Oh, come on. He can't be that bad, can he? Does he know about him very well or no?
Tezzy, I would say the name doesn't quite ring a bell. It's not really a name that you've come across. You have a sneaking suspicion that on occasion some of the people that you've transported may have been Sabat, but honestly, if the money's good, the money's good. Survival comes first.
I only met him once before, long ago, in the city of Acre. He's the worst bastard ever to walk this earth for what he did in that city. He was a cruel bastard even before he became one of us.
No wonder your boots are shaking.
I would love to take his head right now.
Oh, come on. Don't ruin the mood that quickly.
I'm sorry, Monsieur. Just it is hard for me to have the past come back to me quite this way. The ill more than the good.
You know I'm not one to take sides, but knowing how pale your little friend has you, I will be extra cautious and keep my little animals to the ground to see if I hear any news. How about that, huh?
Okay, but if he comes near you, run. Find me, and then I'll deal with him.
I can handle myself.
In most cases, I would say yes.
Alright, not to be, buzzkill or anything, but with burning moonlight, I need to be out of the city before daybreak here.
Oh, apologies, John. Good luck.
Yeah.
No
Oh, and remember to update your iPhone.
Honestly, love, it's like I keep telling you, the iPhone, that's never going to catch on now. This Zune, on the other hand, it's magic.
Zoom.
I think you are teasing me, John. I may have been asleep for 40 years, but I still know that these smartphones are quite magnificent.
Alright, fair enough. You caught me out on that one. Hey, you're getting better in your old age. Appreciate it. Alright. Game sees game. But anyway, do you mind if I just borrow the young lady for a minute?
Oui, sure.
Okay. So John is going to step to the side again, and basically he's going. So is Grigori going to step outside?
Yeah, he's going to give him privacy.
Okay, so Tezzy, you and John are alone, and he basically, you kind of like head out to a corner of the room and very low voice. Right then, so unfortunately I didn't get much time to give you a full briefing, but I mean, I'm assuming you remember the individual that we were transporting here.
Yeah, Tattoo Head. I remember him. What about it?
Well, one of the many reasons it's a good thing you don't remember where his haven is because that is Tally the Hound. Now, what you do after I leave this room and what you do with your time here in the city is entirely up to you, but you know the rules. while he's in my care and he's my client, I need to protect him. But once I'm out of here, he's fair game. Just know this, darling. Tally is very, very dangerous. And while I know Gregory has history with the dude, I don't think it's worth him getting killed over. So, if you get any whispers of the Hound, maybe misdirect him. I'm sure there's going to be plenty of other things for him to focus on in the city anyway. Just, I like Greg. I don't want to see him, you know, a head shorter. You know what I mean?
That this Tally would hurt Greg.
I mean, Tally is a professional. He does what he's paid to do. And if Gregory was going to try and take him on, then, well, like any professional. I mean, look how we handled the lupine. We're professionals doing a job, and the lupine got in our way. What did we do?
I got your picture.
Indeed. Just, you know, don't tell him anything he doesn't need to know. Just keep an eye out for the fella. The other thing is, the information that I want you to acquire while you're here, this is obviously isn't for the Banu Hakim, this is for us, for the family. There's a woman by the name of Mal Davis. She's a caitiff, clanless. Back in the 90s, people thought she might take over as the new prince. You know, shut down the Camarilla for good in this neighbourhood. Now, these days she's a little hard to find, but I believe that she's currently being protected by the leader of the Anarchs, a woman by the name of Anita Wainwright. Now, the reason I want you to pally up to Mal Davis and the Anarchs in general is that the caitiff, the clanless, people without a family, they're the ones that we care about. They're the ones that we want to help more than anything. Because when it comes down to it, the forgotten, the ignored, they're the ones with the real power, real knowledge. They are the ones who remain unseen, but they see everything. So what I want you to do, my dear, is I want you to ingratiate yourself. I want you to make them love you as I do, as we all do. And when they owe you a favour, they're going to owe all of us a favour. Are you down for that?
Hello?
Hello? Yes.
Hello, hello?
Hello, hello.
Oh dear. Hello?
Yes, we hear you. Can you hear us?
Okay, sorry, I couldn't hear for a second. I was, sorry, interruption.
That's okay.
You said when they owe you a favor. Please go ahead. Please
Yeah.
go ahead.
Yeah, basically it's like when they owe you a favour, they owe all of the Ravnos a favour. So basically he's asking you to be, basically ingratiate yourself into the city. Like the homeless network, the you know, the people who are disaffected, the people who are unaffiliated, the people who aren't involved in like the big factions.
Oh, no, I understood that. It cut out. The sound cut out on my end when you
okay,
said
sorry.
that. That's why.
Yeah. Are you okay with that, darling?
Oh, you know me. Love is my middle name.
It sure is. Good girl. I'll be back in about 6 months. Got a few things to do back in Los Angeles. Maybe Illinois.
A few things or a few people?
Oh, darling, I'm a multitasker, you know me. But, no, the situation in Los Angeles is interesting. I want to I'll watch from the sidelines, see what happens. But as ever, keep your ears open for the caitiff, the thin bloods, the dispossessed. Make them love you. Alright?
Dispossessed and disenfranchised, broken things and broken bastards. I'll get them under my side. Don't you worry.
Good girl.
Just be careful, okay?
Always. And John Gray is going to step on out. So, I would say at this point, we're getting close to the end of our session. So the final scene for the evening is going to be outside a museum. Now, we're skipping a little bit because we had a bit of a slow start and everything. So Bluebird, you are outside a very particular building indeed. Bear with me just one moment.
I love museums.
So you and Bertie have met up with a certain individual.
Alice.
Yes, I'm so sorry. I didn't realise until now that how little that poor Nicola would do for this session. I do apologise so much. But yes. But yes. So. But yes, so you three are currently outside the. Let me see. I have this really flowery pose, but let's just skip to it. This is the Museum of Contemporary Art in Chicago. Normally, this area is fairly bustling even at night. However, with various market stands and stalls out by the floor, it's got these giant stairs that lead up and these two huge wings that basically envelop around. Around it's basically almost nestled in the middle of this huge ravine of glass towers and skyscrapers. And before it is just this sea of various green parks and so on and so forth. However, at the moment, there appears to be some kind of construction going on. A lot of it's been cordoned off, and people, basically, there's no real access to the, the public footpaths and everything. However, you do know that the side doors and everything are open if you have tonight's key code, which of course Bluebird does. So. I would say as well, this is the first time, Alice, as you meet up, that you've met Bluebird once or twice. Now, what would you say your impression has been of this woman since you started working for about 2 weeks ago?
Probably originally intimidated as hell, and because older vampire, but then kind of like eased up considering how sweet she's been. And Milton basically vouched for her, so it's like, oh hey Blue.
Alice, loveliest of lovelies. It's so great to see you. And she knows Birdie, of course, right?
This is the first time she's met Bertie.
What does Birdie go by with other people?
Smith. My name's Smith. Hello, pleasure to meet you. This is the first time.
He's an artist, right?
He is an artist, yes.
You know my friend Smith, professional artist?
I have not, but it's nice to meet you.
Smith, Alice Smith. Let's all be great friends forever, okay?
Pleasure to meet you. And to describe Bertie, very tall, weird-looking individual, very, thick beard. He's wearing a very large, dusty-looking black trench coat with the lapels, the collar turned up, but underneath you see this really bright, garish. It's almost like almost Timmy Mallet style clothing, very bright and colourful, like a waistcoat and everything. He's an odd one. I would say as well, it's just like as he shakes your hand, there is a little something about him. He's very thin, there's almost like a hungry look to him. You know, it's like, yes, a pleasure to finally make your acquaintance, my dear. One quick question. I hope this isn't too forward or anything, but he basically gestures to Alice's outfit. Is this like a lifestyle or just a fashion choice?
Well, a little bit of both, I suppose.
Good to know, good to know. So, should we wait for your guest, or shall we head inside? I would say at this point...
And yeah, Bluebird would say, by the way, to Village, she's like, well, I want to get in to make sure my party's going okay.
Okay.
Where'd Milton go? Did he just like drop me off and then leave, or is he milling around?
I would say Milton is not invited to this event. This is basically a Bluebird is the way it was pitched to you. Bluebird is currently working, and so Milton technically is not invited. He is not part of staff like you are, and apparently this Bertie individual, or this Smith.
And also, now remind me, because we had a bit of continuity issue. Was there mention the actual conversation that did occur was Annabelle did say, like, if anybody misbehaves, things are badly on me, and I would know that she's new and not necessarily has permission to even exist, correct?
Correct.
And she wouldn't know in certain terms. With Bertie hearing, go over that real briefly. She basically say, now, here's the deal, my good friend, Alice, you technically don't exist in certain states. And as a result, you're going to want to be real careful. I would avoid such formalities as handshakes if you can avoid it. No skin-on-skin contact if you could avoid it. No, try to avoid extended eye contact. If somebody offers you a drink, you may want to second guess. There's going to be some interesting people here, and as Annabelle told me, anything that happens with you reflects on me, and, I want to maintain my professional reputation. I know you're going to use discretion, but, use discretion and then multiply that by 10.
Oh, of course, Miss Blue, I wouldn't want to get you in trouble after you've been so kind to me.
Well, I know you won't, but, the thing is, it could also... some other people... She kind of gestures vaguely. And, she may be able to guess she means Milton and other people like that. And she says, well, some other people could run into a lot of trouble, too. Like, permanent trouble, if you know what I mean.
I get the gist, yeah. I wouldn't want anything to happen to him.
Honestly,
tell me, is this going to be a problem?
Bertie knows, of course, right?
Say that again?
Bertie knows all this, of course.
Bertie has been... Basically, I would assume you've told Bertie pretty much everything.
Yeah, because he's a trusted friend, so
yes,
that wouldn't be a problem. So,
and what was your question, my dear?
She's basically motioned to her face in general. Like, is this gonna be a problem, or is this like an accepted?
Oh, no, as far as I'm aware, it's with her salons, it's usually all kindred unless they're there for food, so you'll be fine.
That's good. Still having a little trouble with...
What if Annabelle asks about it? After her, where did she come from? Who was her sire?
Oh, yes, that...
There could be real problems with that.
Wait, you haven't figured that out already? Oh my gosh, amateurs. Right, okay, darling.
I wasn't sure.
Yes, that's fine. Now, Miss Alice, my dear, darling, sweetie. You are visiting from out of town. You are an associate of Miss Bluebird's. You're just visiting from out of the city. You've been a vampire for a while. You don't need to... This isn't an Elysium, so you don't need to present yourself to the prince, and you don't need to explain your lineage and your sire and your sire's sire or any of that bullshit. Trust me, you'll be fine. I've got a question. How are you a fan of...
One last thing, I don't want to keep the time up, but Sorry, go ahead.
No, ladies first, please. No, it's okay, Dave.
I just wanted to ask, and then there's there was an important thing I wanted to ask, which is, I don't know if this would be appropriate, but I think it would work with Vampire. She looks over at Allison, looks over at Birdie, and then back to Allison, then back to Birdie, and she says, of course, unless this breaks continuity, you can let me know. But she says, of course, there's always the possibility that I could convince her that all that is true for that evening.
Well, here's the thing. You can absolutely lie to her face if you want. I mean, she's your patron, but if you're talking about using abilities, I would...
I'm talking about making Alice believe it. So that if someone tries to see if she's lying, she won't be.
I mean, that's entirely up to you, my dear. Would you consent to a little jiggery pokery in the frontal lobe?
She nods to Alice and says, that way if someone asks you any of these things and you have to lie, there are ways our people can tell if someone's lying. But if you're not lying, then there's no harm, no foul.
Is that a like a permanent thing or a temporary thing?
No, just for the evening. And I know you trust me. What do you say? That way you've got nothing to worry about. You can enjoy the evening with a fantasy of being whoever you want to be. Or whoever Birdie said you were. I wasn't really listening to that part.
Can I just do like a little insight? Just to
I didn't want to make it a whole big thing. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I would say this as well. Bless your heart, D. I'm looking at your abilities. You don't have that ability. I was like,
wow.
You
said I did. I thought you said I did.
Oh, no. You have the only presence power that you have here is something called awe, where people think you're the most fascinating person in the room.
Oh, okay. I thought you said the way it was understood it was mine. So she looks over and says, well, I can't do it. Can you, Birdie?
Oh shit, right. Well, I thought that was a really good idea. Let me just remind myself what powers I have.
Let me think back to all the wonderful things I could do.
Yes, because, Bertie is actually full disclosure, Bertie and John are my two player characters that I never got to play in a game, so here they are.
Aww.
Yeah, well, actually, I mean, I might have a little ability when it comes to, let's see. Oh dear. I might be able to do that if you're willing to consent to that, my dear.
I do kind of want to ask as well. You said you needed me here to do a little something for you. What do you actually need me to do?
That was never made clear to me.
That never was made clear, yeah. No, basically, you are pretty much staff. You are here to, you guys are pretty much to take coats and, to hand out glasses of blood.
She lays that out. We're the staff. I thought about putting us
with a help
in hazmat suits, but
oh, nobody pays any attention to the staff. I'm just not important enough to mix with these people.
Well, if you ever want a lovely memory, just let me know.
Gestures over to Birdie, like nods, like just try to keep conversation shallow.
You got a creepy little smile on your face when you said that.
Thank you.
I'm really good at shallow conversation.
But anyway, so of course I'm more than willing to help you out. But as I say, no one's gonna really want to talk to the staff. I think I'll be fine.
Do you think that she's safe, or do you think we should do something?
Oh no! I think things should be fine. Again, believe me, I've been to.
Let's trust the evening. Sorry, go ahead.
What I know of events like this, I don't think they're going to be looking at the staff too much.
No.
And as you guys are heading in, I would say two things happen at once. First of all, a rather beautiful-looking car pulls up with Grigori and with Teze. And the second thing...
Over here.
Yeah. And the second thing that happens is Bertie just turns to Alice and says, have you ever seen the movie Eyes Wide Shut?
You know, it's been on my list for a long time, but I've never seen it.
This should be fine. And unless you guys wish to have a conversation together, or I think we will leave the game there for this session.
That sounds good.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the only thing I say over to Gregory is I go, Gregory, hey, over here. And that's about it.
Yes, we end on that. I freaking love it.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Okay, so that was our very first, very, very chaotic mess. There we go. Vampire the Masquerade Chronicle.
The Messquerade.
The Messquerade. Oh god damn it! That's such a good name. I might actually change this to the Messquerade because I think that's
You're
pretty
allowed
much
to.
on brand.
Oh, honey, of course we did good.
Real good.
So
You have two Southern ladies among you, so success is guaranteed.
I didn't realise that Alice was Southern as well until pretty recently, because originally you had this. I think like the first time we were doing like the session 0, there was like this really deep scratchy sort of thing you were doing.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
It happens.
He likes to do voices.
Oh well, of course.
And
Good for a reason to use a little southern accent again. What can I say? I really loved playing Shileo.
and isn't Albert such a sweetie?
Oh yes.
Ha! You spotted that. Thank you so much. Yeah.
I spotted it right at the beginning.
Yeah. So here's the thing. I said this to Dee as well, but yeah, Bertie Bassett is not his real name. So it's like when you asked him to give you an alias, he was like, Smith, because he's already using it. Is an alias or an alias? The twisted webs we weave.
Lucy, why are you... Stop licking the books.
Also, DeVillo, I would like to say in nature of the Messquerade, the whole thing with Alice and the memories is how I understand Vampire the Masquerade to work, so I'm sorry that I pulled some time at the end.
No, that's fine. Again, that is an ability that certain vampires
I just thought
do
you
have.
said I could make people do things or think things.
It's more a case like your particular skill set, you have what's called awe, where it's like basically all the spotlights are on you and everyone's like, oh, look at her. Who is she?
So what you're saying is I have the same powers as Miss Piggy.
Yes.
That's the Miss Piggy power.
Yes, that actually is.
She walks into the room and every male character goes, who's that? Who's that ravishing creature?
So, we are basically going to start off the next session finally with all the characters together.
Yes.
And we're starting off with an eyes wide shut scenario. Question mark?
Take off all your ghouls.
Yes. It is going to be an interesting experience. So, I would like to know. So, here's the thing. Trying to get everything flowing. Originally, when I had my notes and all that jazz, we had 6 main scenes. And I kind of allowed about half an hour for each one. Unfortunately, that changed real freaking fast. And even though we are still technically just short of 3 hours, it was... Yeah, it got to the point where, first of all, the introduction was a little bit of a mess because, people decided to do flipping lawn work at 4 o'clock in the afternoon. That was absolutely fabulous.
No, that's a sitcom.
Yes. I see what you did there. Actually, yeah, I think Bertie and Bluebird, they kind of have an absolutely fabulous vibe, or more of a... What was the sick? Yeah, there's definitely some sort. Yeah, ab-fab. There's a bit of a vibe there between them two.
I like Bertie.
Thank you,
I
Dad.
like all your other characters. I like Gregory and Tezzy I loved, and Alice I loved, and Gregory's going to be really interesting. Gregory's a little close to the vest at this point, so I'm curious about him. How did you guys like Bluebird and Llewellyn?
What's the deal with the naked dude?
I'll tell you after Twitch.
Well, I mean, it's like we basically did yeah. I would say this. I love how I set up a plot point with Brujah that Alice was like, oh, well, that's fine then. Yeah, everything's fine with Brujah, absolutely fine.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, she's making notes. She's not dumb.
Yeah, there would if Bluebird had been there would have been something happening. But that's just because Bluebird is gauche.
I will now dub thee an honorary Latina then.
Thank you so much.
Nice.
Yeah. But yes, many side characters, and everybody being infinitely freaking patient as we finally get this group of characters together. So, very curious to see how things go next week when we actually have everybody in the same space interacting in this. And we deal with some of the individuals that you're going to be encountering. So, the basic idea is, in my head, there are going to be at least 3 sessions of this. Now, I put a lot of work into setting up the structure for this episode because everybody needed their introduction and be indoctrinated into like the headspace and everything of, where all the playing pieces on the board are. Now, in the next session, for the most part, it's going to be up to you guys. What plot threads you go with, what interests you and your characters. So there's several different plots going on. The Beckoning, the Sombra, the Sabbat, Ghoul, Equal Rights for Ghouls,
The Hors d'oeuvres.
The Hors d'oeuvres, and
Equal Rights for Ghouls. What?
Madness, I know, darling. Madness. And yeah, so
Dogs and cats living together.
Mass hysteria.
Yeah.
Thank you for your patience with this Vampire the Masquerade. I really think I am going to change the series to that. I think it's
Yes.
perfect. The Masquerade.
You
Yeah.
must now.
It's genius. So, chapter 1, New Endings, is closed. Thank you all so much for joining us, and we will catch you again next week.
Bye.
Good night.
Yeah, I really missed my cell phone.